What is up, Bulldogs? I'm Sean.
And I'm Cody, and welcome to The Bark, where we cover all things Memorial.
We're going to jump straight into our first segment with Memorial's new head principal, Mr. Potler.
Hi, I'm Sean with Events Broadcasting.
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
I am great. How are you? It's nice to meet you.
I'm doing great.
I just want to start off with a couple of questions.
Sure.
My first one being, what brought you to Edmond Memorial?
I'll tell you what, Edmond Memorial has always had a special place in my heart, even from the first time that I was here. I love this side of town. I love the tradition and the history here. And so when this position became available, it was logical. It was the place that I wanted to be.
And my second question is, how has Memorial changed since you were last here?
Well, I mean, certainly we're bigger than we were 4 or 5 years ago. This side of town continues to grow. But the great part about Memorial is the traditions are so solid and vast that a lot of it is still the same. And so, you know, I think that's what makes it such an appealing place for our alumni, is they can come back and they can see all the things that they used to kind of take part in, and that they're still here, they're still thriving.
And so then my next question is, how are we different from the other two Edmond schools?
You know, all schools in Edmond are fantastic. On our worst day, we have the best schools in the state of Oklahoma. I think we're different here because we do have such a long history. I mean, when you think back to some of the things that I said at the beginning of the year, I mean, 30 years ago, the schools split off and we became 3 schools. At that point in time, we became the original. And that's something that you can't ever take away from somebody, is that they are the original in town.
This question's off topic.
Okay.
But if you could have any fictional character as your vice principal, who would it be and why?
Ooh, fictional character as my vice principal. I'm not exactly sure who it would be. I have such amazing assistant principals now that really work hard for this place. I suppose if I had to pick somebody, I don't have a name, but I would pick somebody that was a lover of some of the same things that I do. Lover of the performing arts, really into basketball. Loves to see kids active and engaged and participating in activities. So I don't have a name, but I think that's what I would like as far as their qualities go.
It's amazing to say. I'm pretty sure your staff values you the same way that you value them.
Well, I hope so.
My next question is, if you could have any superpower that would help you with your job, what would it be and why?
Ooh, I think ultimate empathy would be neat to have. As you can imagine, when you're in this role, whether you're working as the campus principal or you're working as a grade level principal, you are faced and engaged in a lot of difficult situations every day. Students that are coming to you at times of crisis, and to have empathy in this role is certainly important, and sometimes that can be difficult, right? So I think my superpower would be ultimate empathy.
That was a great interview, Sean.
Yeah, what I can say is that I do think that Mr. Potler is the perfect man for the job.
Alrighty, now hold on to your protons, because we are charging into our next segment with Mr. Bourne.
Hey guys, Mr. Bourne here. I teach physics and AP Physics here at Memorial, and I wanted to run through with you guys just a really quick experiment, something pretty cool to look at. So here, suspended from kind of a strange arrangement of hooks and strings from the ceiling, I have a bicycle wheel, okay? And I can start off pretty simple here with the bicycle wheel, hold it kind of upright like this, and we expect that when I let go of said bicycle wheel, it's gonna kind of fall down, swing. And the reason why we see that is because of gravity. The earth is trying to pull everything down, and it doesn't fall all the way down to the ground because I have it connected here by the string. Now, I'm gonna go through and do the exact same thing again. Just try dropping the wheel. I'm gonna change one thing this time. I'm gonna cause the wheel to spin. And I gotta get it spinning pretty fast here. But once I have a good rate of spin on this, and now I try dropping it, we get something completely different, okay? So gravity did not just disappear here. Gravity is still trying its best to pull this wheel down, get it as low to the ground as possible. But as I've caused this thing to rotate, I've introduced a new quantity called angular momentum. And all angular momentum is it says that, hey, when this wheel starts to get spinning, the wheel's gonna wanna keep spinning forever and ever, and it's gonna fight any changes in that spin. So what we get is that there's kind of a battle between angular momentum and gravity that results in this really neat, what we call gyroscopic precession. Basically, turn the bike wheel into a giant gyroscope. And there you go, that's some physics.
That was an awesome experiment. What do you think about it?
It wasn't very physically demanding.
That's that. Next up, we're going to join Bark TV and rank classroom cribs.
Well, from August to May, this is home. And I know for myself, I spend more time here than I do at my actual home. And I want it to be a welcoming, warm place for students to come. And not just when they're in my class for that year, even afterwards, after they're not in my class. I want them to still know that this is a place where they can come and hang out and sit if they need something. I, at the beginning of the year, do like an observation activity where they get a note card and they get to walk around the room and they get to make 3 observations about me, their teacher. And I get a lot of great feedback from that. I think doing stuff like that and decorating my room the way I do, it lets them know about me. Like I have pictures of where I went to college, I have pictures of my family. And I also taught at elementary school, so I'm trying to bring back some of the things that you remember from your elementary school days, the posters and the decorations. And like at Christmas time, I'll have a Christmas tree, just trying to remember some of the things that you guys once loved about school. I know that it's hard right now, and it's important for me that you guys know that this is a place where you can come no matter if you're my student now, if you were my student, if you're going to be my student. Having a room that's open and welcoming displays my personality, and I hope that as the year goes on, my students pick up on that. Well, and like I said, it has to be comfortable for me too, because I spend my entire day in here, and I want it to be a place that I enjoy, and that when I look around, I see things that remind me of the happy things in life. Like, we're exploring all together. So I have a poster that explore. We're exploring math. I collect the letter B, and so I have all these B's that people have given me over the years. And I keep everything. Mrs. Kissinger will tell you I'm a hoarder. But like students, like this is something that a student gave me when he was in my 5th grade class. And it's Jeffrey the Frog, and he graduated last year. And he wanted me to keep Jeffrey so I would remember him always. And then I have another student who, when in 6th grade, found this gigantic acorn and brought it to me when he was in 6th grade. And last year he was in my class because I moved from the middle school up to the high school. And so I have a picture of hanging on my wall that somebody that graduated last year, she painted when she was in 5th grade and she was my student. So I just look around the room and it reminds me of the things that make me happy, the people that have impacted my life, from my students to my family to the things that keep me going. As far as like the posters and things like that, I want quick access. So if I'm talking about something, I can point. And like, we're talking about this, I can point. We're talking about this, I can point. And I have a mirror on your way in and out of my room, so you can look, and I have positive sayings on my mirror so that if you're looking at yourself and fixing your hair as you're walking out my door, you also see that you're awesome, you're great, have a great day. I try to make it positive, and everything in here is hopefully putting that out to students. All the lighting, that's kind of a different story, because I use the smart board a lot, and so we take notes and different things. I have to have different sources of light so that when I do turn off the lights, everybody can still see. But the bright light is just so consuming sometimes, so then I put the covers up over my lights to kind of diffuse the lighting when all the lights are on. And because this is like a very nature-y setup, I try to do clouds and trees. So different decorations. It's like I've heard this before. It's like a campground. You want to leave it better than you found it. And if you're going to sit in my seats, you sit in my seats. You just put it back the way it was. If you store things in here, great. I don't mind. I have a spot for people to come and leave their equipment for sporting. Fine, leave it. Just make sure you don't forget it. I have a spot for lost and found. I typically don't do a seating chart. I typically let my students sit wherever they would like to. And free seating, Every now and then I have to make a seating chart, but for the most part, I let them pick where they want. I change my desks a lot, and for many reasons, because I want them to be able to meet new people. We talk a lot, so we'll turn and we can work with groups, but I like this way the best because I can see everybody and they can see me, and then there's a walkway. But then beyond this, my next seating arrangement will be in groups or tables so that they can start working together with partners. Because one thing I've noticed about this age, there's not if you aren't forced to interact with somebody, they typically don't unless it's somebody that they know. So some of my classes are really, really quiet if they don't know anybody in that class. So I try to also do activities that get us up out of our seat, kind of break the ice, get us out of our comfort zone a little bit, make them smile, make them laugh, make them feel like it's okay to be silly and goofy in here. I mean, I have a joke of the week on my board outside, so, you know.
I look at rooms as an extension of our home. So I like my room to not only look nice, but smell nice, be inviting. I try to really put stuff in here that kids know that they can come to me if they need a Band-Aid, or if they're in need of a mint because they had garlic for their lunch that day. So just kind of all inclusive and really providing for all their sensories. Inspiration comes from color, number one. I tell the kids that I have to match my red chairs, and so you have to work with it. I also like to include things in my room that are not brand new and are antiques, and like exposing them to different ways that you can design, because that's one of the classes I teach, interior design, making a space look welcoming and put together. So I feel like a room that is cluttered makes it very hard to focus. I know the teacher that I took the room from had it in a state of disarray, and I had a hard time dealing with that. So I think a clean space that is organized and kids know where to get stuff and what to do with stuff really makes it feel more comfortable, and they're able to focus if there's not a lot of crazy distractions going on around them.
This is my 13th year teaching second year in high school. I started off in elementary school where we have to decorate like this, and I've just continued it. The kids absolutely love it. They wish more high school teachers had decorated their rooms, and I get a lot of comments about it being very homey.
You know, out of all the rooms that we did see, I can definitely say Miss Belt is 100% the best.
Honorable mention to Miss Hallmark, though. Well, thank you for tuning into this first episode of this season of The Bark.
Make sure to tune in next time. This is Sean.
And Cody signing off.
Go Dogs.